Hey everybody, it's Eddie Joe in Crypto. Let's get deeper into the topics today. So India and Singapore have, their own, networks within their countries. UPI for India and Pay Now for Singapore. Well, what they're able to do now is handle cross-border transactions faster and cheaper. Now, I want you to think about this because at the state level, that's normally a Swift kind of move, right? That's what links like 11,000 plus banks around the world. Banks in, states, meaning countries. Well, this is one of many moves that kind of puts Swift in the crosshairs. And the reason why I say so is because they don't need Swift to handle this transaction, and it's far cheaper. And you're seeing more and more banks, more and more countries start to look toward those kinds of transactions. So as much as people want to say that, crypto, yeah, we don't like crypto, countries are leveraging the technologies fairly quickly. I'm also looking at how that can actually affect Ripple. Why? Because Ripple is often tapped to help with CBDCs. So we'll see how that plays out. One of the reasons that cross border transactions have come into play is because the Financial Stability Board says that, yeah, there are shortcomings in the current financial system that make cross border transactions expensive and slow. And that has led to the gain of adoption of crypto. Kind of makes sense, right? Kind of checks out. So there's more. They're going to have a recommendation for the G20 with regard to crypto regulation and other things regarding crypto and financial institutions. So we're waiting for that one, and I am expecting that to be quite enlightening. Zipmex might have made a deal to actually rescue itself with its creditors. Creditors are expected to finish filling out their forms today, so that they can actually start withdrawals once the deal closes. They're expecting everything to be finalized by March 21st. That's actually a very big deal because I've been reporting on Zipmex and their problems from mid last year. So think about this. Mid last year, you want to know who was actually thinking about purchasing Zipmex? Yeah, it was FTX. I reported that back in June. So that's actually a very big deal that this company hit so many problems. They're being investigated by Thailand, but I think this deal might actually get them out. So again, I'm looking at things that FTX touched, but that might come back and actually resume business. And we'll see if they grow. We'll see if they sustain. We'll see if they eventually just fade away. And FTX Japan is one of those things that I'm looking at. And then there's a reason why, right? Because eventually you're going to see a consolidation. You're going to see, companies go out of business or get bought, and with that consolidation in the exchange space, right? They can't all survive. That's a fact. They can't all survive. The difference is going to be what coins do they carry, what services do they provide, and how many customers are using that platform for whatever it is they're doing. There will be multiple exchanges still in existence, but I'm not expecting the number of exchanges to remain as high as it is now. And that's around the world. Something else that's interesting that I came across is that Solana has been on a tear. And a few months ago, a while ago, Helium had said, "Oh, we're going to drop our blockchain play and migrate over to Solana." And that's why I kept saying I have an issue with Solana, right? Because their network, stumbles a little bit. Well, Helium announced that they should be done with everything fairly soon, and that's going to be, I think it's let me see, let me look at my notes. I don't have a specific date, but it's actually real close to being done, right? Now, once that happens, the team over at Helium no longer has to worry about, setting up, adding to the network for, its success. They can concentrate on adding their hotspots, which is the main focus of their business. Now, when you look at that, you're kind of like, well, that's interesting, because here's what I keep saying. I might not like Solana because it stumbles every now and then on their network, but they are crazy fast. So if they can somehow stabilize that and continue with that speed, they're just going to skyrocket, right? And currently they're only $2 billion off in market cap from Dogecoin. And if you look at Dogecoin, it's basically stagnant. I mean, it barely moves when the great Elon has something to say about it. Back in the day, if Elon said something, it would just skyrocket. That's not happening now. So that's something to pay attention to. So that means that Solana is in a position, because they're number 10. I mean, I think they're number 11 actually on coin market cap. Yep, they're number 11, and Doge is number 10. They could actually flip Doge and land itself in the, I think, back in the number 10 position. And that could be a very big deal and play out to be very interesting. You know, as you start to see, you know, our top 10 right now are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USDC, XRP, Ripple, Cardano, Binance USD, Polygon, and Dogecoin, with Polkadot, Solana, then Polkadot, then Shiba Inu following pretty closely. All right. I mean, you have a lot going on with Shiba Inu, and Shiba Inu is closer to flipping Polkadot than right now Solana is to flipping Dogecoin. But that's to say that there's a lot going on in that space, and all of those projects that I just named, remove the stablecoin, all of those projects that I just named are actually really strong projects. Do your research there. There are opportunities that you can actually see some really good things happen in that space. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, wow. So outside of the United States, crypto is booming, absolutely booming. I heard some news earlier today, or rather last night, about how some Chinese-based cryptos are jumping like by 100% plus. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, yeah, kind of checks out. Kind of checks out, especially this one coin. I forgot the name of it. There's one coin that's the only regulated coin in the country. I still have issues with dealing with China at the moment, so I don't know that I'm going to invest in a coin that's based in China, right? I would, and that's because it's the same reason why I wonder about investing in stocks with any company based in China, because the head of the company can just disappear. That happened last week. With one of their companies, the head disappeared. So I pay attention to that stuff, right? Be wary of where you place your money, and if you're doing your research, look at what the money is doing, not just where it's going. You want to see what it's doing, not just where it's going. Again, okay? So these are things that I'm paying attention to at the moment. All right. Anyway, you know what we should do? We should get to the numbers. Hold on a sec. Let's get over there. Let me click that. And there you go. All right. So right now, the fear and greed index is at 60. That's pretty good. That puts us deep into greed, like, you know, first third of greed. That's actually a good thing. That means the happiness around crypto, the adoption around crypto is growing. The knowledge around crypto is growing. That's a great thing. What's going to happen next is what everybody's asking me. What's going to happen next? It's going to be Main Street America's adoption. What you're seeing right now is all the behind the scenes adoption. Country level, meaning state level. You're seeing large financial institutions. That's what you're seeing right now. What happens next is you're going to start to see regular people start to get into crypto. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday and they were like, well, you know, nobody's really into crypto. I said, you know, it was a conversation about, he's got a cannabis business, and he, you know, it's a club, right? And I said, I had an idea to do the same thing, but I want to accept crypto, make it a cashless business, right? Completely cashless business, do crypto and do credit cards. That way there's never any money on site. And he's like, oh, but if you're focusing on crypto, you're going to cut out a lot of people. And I said, if I'm focusing on crypto, I think I'm going to attract a lot of people. I'm going to attract a lot of people. A lot of people. because his number one part of his business is not people coming into his lounge, it's his delivery business. And why do you have a booming delivery business? Because people don't want other people to know that they're freaking weed heads. I have nothing against people that are weed heads. You do your thing. But other people feel uncomfortable, with other people knowing their business. So they want that level of anonymity. See where that's going. Anyway, so right now we're in the greed space. If you look at DeFi Llama, again, we're back up to 68 billion when last week we had hit down at 62, 63. So that's actually a good thing in terms of total value locked. When you look at Bitcoin, what's my number one thing? We must maintain a number above 23,417. And as I look at the numbers, that's exactly what's going on right now, except you're seeing huge moves up and down as it tries to maintain that minimum above 23,417. And what you're really seeing is a hard stop at 25,210. If you go look at the charts right now, we've breached 25,210 twice. Maybe, and touched it, I think 3 times, the third time. That's it. Everybody's looking at 25,000. I'm like, I don't care about 25,000. 25,000 is not the number for me. 25,210 is the number for me. Previous low, previous high, set a few months ago. That's what I'm looking at. And then after that, like I told you, the next number is 2828. Right? These are the things that I'm paying attention to as we continue our crypto journey. So do your own research, understand where everything's going, and create your dollar cost averaging plan. Create your DCA strategy, right? Right now, crypto to me is moving sideways, going up, coming down, but basically moving lateral within a wide space. Based on that, I'm saying I'm gonna create my strategy, and I'm gonna stick to my strategy. People are asking me, well, isn't crypto too high to get in right now? Yeah, there are things that are soaring right now, but they're so far off their all-time highs that it's not going to affect my dollar cost averaging strategy. Straight up, I'm going to keep what I've got going on because we're so far off the highs. Do I expect to get to those highs again within the next year, 2 years? Heck yeah. So I'm going to keep using my dollar cost averaging strategy, pay myself first, like Robert Kiyosaki says, and keep it moving. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. I hope my research helps you. If you have questions, do me a favor, drop a note, and I'll see if I can answer them. Have a good one. Bye-bye.